Yet another film that got panned for being too scary, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And yeah, again, I'm not gonna act like I don't see where they're coming from. Everything in this movie is huge, gigantic, and trying to kill you. It's totally understandable. But again, I think a lot of critics really underestimate how much kids could take because this movie was a big hit, and audiences loved it. Not only did it have a lot of impressive sets and some damn good effects at the time, but it had some funny side characters and an okay cast of main characters. It was a great big budget version of something that we've seen plenty of times before, but not quite to this scale. Rick Moranis is a scientist who's trying to create a machine that, you guessed it, can shrink things. But everything he tries to shrink down keeps blowing up in his face, literally. But that all changes when the neighbor's kid accidentally knocks a baseball into the machine, which figures out was the missing element. So both the neighbor's kids and the scientist's kids all get shrunken down. They get taken out with the trash and all they have to do is cross the backyard in order to get home. Only now, the backyard is a jungle. They come across everything, bees, ants, lawnmowers, sprinklers, everyday little mundane things are now psychotic killers trying to destroy them. When I was a kid, I really enjoyed this film, and even today I do find I like it, but nowadays I find I enjoy more the technicals of it, like the sets, or the animatronics, or the stop motion, things like that. The story and characters aren't bad, they're just kind of okay, with the exception maybe Rick Moranis and Matt Frewer as the neighbors. The kids are kind of generic kids, you got your geeky little dweeb, you have the jock, you have the pretty girl, you have the pretty boy, of course they're gonna fall in love. It's fine, I mean I can't think of anything that was really painful to go through. I guess I would have liked a little bit more though. But again, that's not the focus. The focus is the effects. That's pretty much how the story is told. Characters walk, talk a bit, then they come across an effect. Characters talk, walk a bit, then they come across an effect. And it's fine, that's what most kids want to see, and I guess that's what most adults want to see too. But in terms of character, I did find I enjoyed the stuff with Rick Moranis and the neighbors a lot more. That's where the main comedy seemed to come from. Everything else sort of falls into the wouldn't it be neat category. Not that these characters are bad, but you don't care as much what happens to them as much as, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I was there? I want to eat that giant cookie, I want to ride that giant ant, I want to do all this stuff. Except maybe the stuff that's trying to kill you, that we could skip. So overall, it's an okay film with some really cool effects in it. If the effects weren't there, it'd probably be a bit of a bore, but they are, and they're impressive, and the story leads to a lot of great grand effects, and they're fun to check out. Some scenes can be a little intense for younger kids, but again, nothing bloody, nothing really that terrifying. It's just intense. Check it out for yourself and find out. Wow, how did Disney let that title get by? I remember every kid who read that title was like, holy shit, Disney did what? But that's not the kind of story they're telling. When they say blow up, they mean make bigger. And that's what the film is about. Rick Moranis is back and so is his son. The sister I guess is in college or off-screen land. And they have yet another newcomer to welcome. A little baby boy that gets wound up in his latest invention and, as you'd guess, grows larger. Only they can't seem to control it, and he just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger until he's Godzilla size. Can our parents figure out a way to save him before the military shoots him down? Oh, what do you think? Once again, the movie is definitely a showcase for some impressive effects that even nowadays still hold up pretty well. And I get the feeling that the first film probably got a lot of complaints from parents saying, oh, too many scary images, oh, too intense, because this one is the complete opposite. Everything is really happy, everything is really cute. Oh, look at the little baby, now he's big and he's running a rampage, tee hee ha ha. Oh, he bit the ice cream bar, cute. And that's sort of the attitude this one has. Really goofy and really childish, but listen to the setup, what do you expect? The first film was already a little silly with its concept, but this one is especially silly. There's a lot of over-the-top acting, there's a lot of cutesy humor, and again, it's fine. You can show it to your kids and they can get some laughs, but as an adult, I think outside of some of the effects, it's not going to be as impressive. Where with the first one, it was creating an entire world and weird creatures and all sorts of strange things to come across. Here, they just made a baby big. And they did it well, don't get me wrong, but after a while it kind of wears off and is not as interesting as the first one. But I guess it could have been a lot worse. Rick Moranis is still funny, the kid has grown up and is no longer a dweeby scientist but instead wants to be a rock musician, which is odd. There's a baby Sarah that gets roped into it, literally. And like I said, there's one or two funny visuals with it. But it's nowhere as interesting as the first one, and it is one of those sequels that really didn't need to exist. But if you're interested and you just want to show your kid a little something that's kind of funny and has some neat effects, it's not bad to check out. But for anyone that really enjoyed the world and the size of the first one, this film will definitely leave you wanting something bigger.